Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you a basic principle of how to unroll a tattoo that a customer's brought in a picture they found on Google, and they would like a similar tattoo to this one. And you would like to get it off the skin and unroll it off of their skin. So I'm going to show you the basic principles of this. And if you apply yourself, you can get pretty good at it. So to start, let's get an image off of Google. I've chosen this particular one here, which is a clock. And the reason I chose the clock is the clock is completely round. So it's almost impossible for us to do this tattoo from this one because it's a completely round object. So it'll be a good challenge. So I'm going to paste the image that we've got. The image is a bit small, so I would prefer better quality. So I'm going to go onto this tab over here, which is the Arrange tab. And I'm going to go onto this units box, and I'm going to choose %, and I'm going to make it 3 times the size. I'm going to type in 300 in there, and I'm going to click Apply. Okay, so I've got the picture created 3 times larger than the original, and I'm going to try and unroll it. Okay, so when you have something as difficult as a round object, the best thing would be is to line up the edge where you need to unroll it. So you'll see that the forearm is slightly off. So if I pull a square and I run it down here, I hope you can see, you'll see the forearm is not straight up. The edge of the forearm is at an angle. Hope you can see that. So I'm going to rotate the forearm slightly, and I have 2 ways of doing it. I could do freehand, okay, which says, sorry, that memory is low. So what I would do is I would then rotate using a rotation tool, and I will rotate it, say 2 degrees. Let's try that. Apply. Maybe again another 2 degrees. It's moaning about memory at the moment. Sorry, I've got too many things on the go. And maybe 1 more. Okay, all right. So this edge now is fairly up straight. If I pull a line and I bring it down, you'll see that as I bring it in, the forearm is fairly straight. Okay, I don't need to work with such a large picture, so I'm just going to do a cutout. I use a square cutout, and I'm just going to grab the forearm like that and remove the background image. Okay, all right, so how do we go about doing this cutout and unrolling it? So the first thing we need is a square cutout tool. This square box here is the center. But the tattoo is fairly straight until about here. It starts to go wonky from about there. So I'm going to put my mouse down here at the top. Okay, go down and across, pulling a square. Okay, and go cut out. This will make a new layer on top of the original. I'll then drag this piece, freehand drag to the side, and then straight away you can see it's looking much rounder. Okay, I can then repeat the process. Cut out, grab the edge and give it a little tug to the side, and there we go. Okay, cool, and we can repeat the process again. Okay. Yep, maybe there. Okay, and give it a tug. Okay, so I didn't put much effort into it. I just gave it 3 pulls to the side, and we'll flatten it. So what I'm doing is I'll click on the side, drag across the whole lot, and flatten selection, and click OK. All right, so now what you can see clearly is you can see that the clock is rounded on the one side and is flatter on the other. Let's rotate it back so that you can get an idea of what I did. Okay, so I'm rotating it backwards at -2. There we go, and there is the tattoo. So quite clearly you can see now that the one side is rounded and the other side is not. Perhaps I stretched it a little bit too far, and perhaps should have been used maybe 4 or 5 increments and not only just 3. You'll notice that the design is not damaged, and so it's nice and round. Okay, so I hope this technique is you found this technique useful. If you were going to do the other side, you would continue on to rotate the forearm till the other side is vertical, like something like that, and so that you can pull the clock out nicely. Okay, so this part of the clock is crunched, so we need to cut this piece off here and we need to pull it out. I hope that was helpful and that you've got the idea of how you can use different techniques. There are many thousands of tricks and tips that I could give you, but it's also fun to discover them on your own. So I hope you enjoyed this and it helps you further with your cutting out and improving designs.